Hello and good morning, viewers. It is a pleasant Friday morning and I warmly welcome you to the breakfast news brought to you from the DD News Meghalaya. Let us kickstart the day with the latest news updates. Here are the headlines. Tura to get Doppler weather radar under Mission Mosam to strengthen weather forecasting. India and Australia strengthen strategic ties with landmark defence and maritime security agreements. India emerging as the preferred global hub for capability centres, saying Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Iran's late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei laid to rest after week-long national mourning. And France storm into FIFA World Cup semi-finals with dominant 2-0 win over Morocco. Now the detailed bulletin, first the local news. A joint team of officials from the India Meteorological Department Meghalaya, disaster management authorities and other agencies has finalized the site at Albella Chidegre in West Garo Hills for the installation of a Doppler weather radar under Mission Mosam. The radar is expected to significantly improve weather monitoring, forecasting and also early warning systems across the Garo Hills region, strengthening disaster preparedness. Installation work is expected to begin shortly. Around 270 members of the Tibetan community in Shillong held a candlelight vigil outside the old Legislative Assembly building in Police Bazaar yesterday to pay tribute to Tibetan activist Lopga Rangzen, who self-immolated outside the United Nations headquarters in New York on July the 2nd. Organized by the Regional Tibetan Youth Congress and the Tibetan Women's Association, the program expressed solidarity with the Tibetan people and highlighted concerns over the human rights situation in Tibet, while reaffirming a commitment to peace, non-violence and compassion.
Right now, here in my hand, you can see this picture. This person is just like us, a Tibetan. He is in America, and recently on 2nd July 2026, he burned himself. He self-immolated himself on 2nd July. The reason is, the irony is, in America, we used to say it's a land of opportunity, whereas he have no problem for fooding, lodging or housing. Nothing is there. He's a happy-going guy, but he self-immolated himself for the cause of Tibet, for the suffering of Tibet, for the people of Tibet, and he self-immolated in front of UN headquarters just because United Nations is deaf. They are deaf. China is deaf. United Nations is deaf. That's why when he speaks, nobody hears about. So he have to self-immolate himself. But Mr. Lopka Rangsen, he self-immolated for the suffering of people of Tibet and for the freedom of Tibet, for the Tibet independence. So I request you to spread this message as far as you can and let the government hear about it. And when Modi ji speaks with the Chinese government, Chinese foreign minister, please speak about Tibet. Jai Bharat, Jai Tibet.
The HSPDP Youth Wing has urged the government to extend the Meghalaya Grassroots Music Project MGMP to West Khasi Hills, saying the district's talented musicians deserve equal opportunities and support. After submitting a memorandum to Tourism Minister Timothy D. Shira, HSPDP Youth Wing Secretary Pinshai Joel Khar said expanding the scheme would provide financial assistance and fair remuneration to local artists, helping nurture the district's growing music scene. He also highlighted the challenges of organizing major musical events due to limited government support.
Nakaliang jungi ke HSPDP Hudwing Central Body haka isi ke badang sudah milih ekran nalor kini kamat haka biyadei bat kini ke MGMP West Coast Hills District usai ba kini ke MGMP ke badai ban dan ha baru ka jela Meghalaya kampat poi kini ke district ke BI ke jungi tina kaliang ke Central Body milih syong perkat bat mila rai bangin tho kini ke jing tho sya CM badan buram baru syaka Tourism Department dikumta nilai kedua noi Tourism Minister Isa Timothy Shira hak ban gila penpawai kini ka jing amnot ke jungi ke HSPDP ba nyindan no ya kini ke MGMP ha West Coast Hills District kenang ba kini ki para samla ke jungi kini yo ya kini ka kini ki incentive ya ka ba kini ka project offer ma ka yo ki pisa let's say every gig per gig ki yo ke jing sir ka babet babyang padling ba kini ka pisa ka ba ki yo kini yo ban siu by class kini yo ban kit coat kini yo ban kit uniform kini yo ban yarap lam hayi ngasam tinggi kerpat da lingba kani ka jing tho ka bangila lip sambat menen ka office jong CM ba ni kerpat jor ka department ru ba kin sungu ba ban wan no sha West Coast Hills District ban dan ni kini ki shows ki ba pair.
A landslide triggered by heavy rainfall damaged a section of the boundary wall of Holy Cross School at Umkyang in East Jayanta Hills District on Thursday evening. No casualties were reported in the incident. School authorities have cordoned off the affected area with tarpaulins as a safety measure, while debris remain to be cleared from the site. Let us take a look at the regional news. Union Donor Minister Jyotir Aditya Scindia has invited industry leaders to invest in Tripura, describing the state as one of Northeast's most promising investment destinations. Addressing the Destination Tripura Business Conclave 2026, he highlighted Tripura's strategic location, abundant natural resources, skilled workforce, expanding infrastructure and a strong connectivity, saying the state is emerging as a gateway to Southeast Asia with vast opportunities in manufacturing, food processing, logistics and technological-driven industries.
Tripura occupies a unique place, and why I say a unique place, because where on the one hand Tripura is on the doorstep of Southeast Asia, on the second it is endowed with abundant natural resources, and therefore Tripura today stands at the intersection, I firmly believe, of connectivity, commerce and opportunity. And if you take those three legs of connectivity, commerce and opportunity, those three legs together, those three attributes together are very difficult to find in any state's paradigm of development. This Destination Tripura Business Conclave is a platform to showcase our state, how our state today has become the preferred destination for investors seeking long-term opportunities. At the same time, you have seen that Tripura today is a story where her strength lies in a unique blend of geography, resources, talent, and opportunity, which means it opens up a huge amount of IT-enabled services, artificial intelligence opportunities, IoT opportunities, machine learning opportunities for the youth of not only Tripura, but for youth across the world to come to Tripura.
An inter-ministerial central team led by Union Home Ministry Joint Secretary Nishtha Tiwari yesterday visited Arunachal Pradesh's Lower Siang district to assess the damage caused by recent flash floods and landslides. The 8-member delegation assured the state government of all possible assistance from the centre for relief, rehabilitation and recovery efforts in the flood-affected areas.
वो रिपोर्ट, उसके आधार पे जो रिपोर्ट बनी है वो शेयर की गई है स्टेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ, और उससे आप लोग अपना लॉस असेसमेंट में मदद मिलेगी आपको। जहां आप अभी नहीं पहुंच पा रहे हैं उसके लिए उस रिपोर्ट की मदद लीजिए। मंत्रालय जो गृह मंत्रालय के नेतृत्व में टीम आई है नई दिल्ली से, अरुणाचल प्रदेश में जो अभी रिसेंट फ्लैश फ्लड हुआ, बहुत बारिश हुई, उसकी वजह से जो डैमेज हुआ, जो डिजास्टर आया है, उस आपदा का असेसमेंट करने के लिए टीम आई है। और क्योंकि अभी भी आप देख रहे हैं बारिश हो रही है और कई जगह इनएक्सेसिबल बने हुए हैं जहां टीम विजिट नहीं कर पाई और चॉपर की भी सुविधा नहीं हो सकती इस मौसम में। तो जितना भी मैक्सिमम हम लोग कवर कर सकते हैं वो टीम कर रही है। अभी दौरा जारी ही है, अभी कंक्लूड नहीं हुआ है। तो कल हम लोगों ने लीपन्योर जिले गए थे, हाँ लीपन्योर जिले गए थे, वहाँ देखा हम लोगों ने काफी डैमेज है। और आज ईस्ट सियांग, इधर लोअर सियांग भी आने का कोशिश किया, बट उधर से रास्ता नहीं हो पा रहा है।
Let us take a quick look at the national news. India and Australia have signed a joint declaration on defence and security cooperation and adopted a maritime security collaboration roadmap to strengthen peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific. The agreements were signed after talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese during the 3rd Australia-India Annual Leaders Summit in Melbourne. The two countries also finalised an arrangement for the long-term supply of Australian uranium to India, accelerated negotiation on the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement, and expanded cooperation in cyber technologies, supply chain and India's Gaganyaan space mission.
As you are aware, India and Australia had signed a civil nuclear cooperation agreement as far back as 2014. That agreement foresees cooperation in a whole host of activities, and not just uranium supply. I would say that's probably one of the areas, but there are a large number of other areas if you go back to that agreement, especially if you look at Article 6 of that agreement. There are a number of sectors that are highlighted there that are potentially areas of cooperation between the two countries. Now, that agreement is not a self-executing agreement. You have to have specific arrangements that need to be put in place in order for the benefits of the agreement to flow to both countries. The India-Australia Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, which was concluded in 2022, has delivered tangible benefits for businesses and consumers in both countries. Since its entry into force, it has delivered a 55% increase in two-way trade between the two countries. And as you would be aware, both sides are now negotiating a comprehensive economic cooperation agreement in order to unlock the full potential of the bilateral economic relationship. And during the course of the discussions today, both leaders gave instructions for this agreement to be concluded at the earliest possible.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah yesterday chaired a conference of superintendents of police from border districts across the country in New Delhi to review and strengthen India's border security framework. The meeting focused on key issues including illegal immigration, infiltration, demographic changes, drone threats and narcotics trafficking. Senior police officers from border states and union territories participated in the conference, which comes amid the centre's intensified effort to curb cross-border crimes and enhance security along India's international borders. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said India is fast emerging as the preferred destination for global capability centres (GCCs), driven by its skilled workforce, strong institutions and innovation ecosystem. Addressing the CII National GCC Business Summit in New Delhi, she said India now hosts over 2,100 GCCs, employing 23 lakh professionals and generating nearly $100 billion in annual revenue. She added that India aims not only to host global capability centers, but also to lead the development of next generation technologies and innovation.
AI first. Engineering research development has emerged as one of the fastest growing capability areas. So Indian GCCs are assuming a growing share of global leadership mandates and strategic decision-making responsibilities. In other words, India's value proposition has evolved from cost efficiency to capability leadership. Enterprises are now moving beyond minimizing cost to maximizing innovation, accelerating discovery, and strengthening long-term competitiveness. So I would think as India's GCC ecosystem evolves, the government will continue working closely with the industry to identify emerging challenges, refine our policy framework, and ensure that India remains the world's most competitive destination for global capability centers. So from capability to global leadership is what I think defines India's next decade. The opportunity before India is to redefine our place in the global economy. Around 2/3 of Fortune 2000 companies have yet to establish a global capability center in India. So if you're talking about the numbers who have already come, I want to talk about the numbers of Fortune Global 2000 companies which have not yet set up a global capability center in India.
The BRICS Women Ministers meeting concluded in Kochi with the adoption of the first ever joint statement on the Women Ministers track, marking a major step in strengthening cooperation on women-led development. The meeting also welcomed India's proposal for a BRICS digital repository and digital capacity building guidelines, while reaffirming the bloc's commitment to promoting inclusive and sustainable growth. Union Minister for Women and Child Development Annapurna Devi Yadav said the platform plays a vital role in addressing shared challenges and advancing collaboration among BRICS nations on women's empowerment.
तो निश्चित रूप से ये एक तरह से अगर बताएं तो बहुत ही फ्रूटफुल ये हमारी बैठकें रही और सभी ब्रिक्स देशों ने जो महिलाओं से संबंधित जो हमारी जो वुमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट का जो संकल्प है कि कैसे सिर्फ हमें ये चर्चा नहीं करनी बल्कि इसको हमें धरातल तक लाना है और हम एक दूसरे के जो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस है उसको साझा भी करेंगे। निरंतर इसके लिए हमारी बैठकें भी होनी चाहिए। तो महिलाएं आर्थिक रूप से राजनीतिक रूप से सशक्त हों, इस दिशा में हमें कार्य भी करना है। और उसके साथ साथ जो हमारे मुख्य रूप से जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के जो वुमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट का जो एक संकल्प, हम एक छोटी सी झलकियाँ जो एग्जीबिशन हमारे हैं सरस और लखपति दीदी एसएचजी ग्रुप्स की जो हमारी बहनें, तो उस एग्जीबिशन के माध्यम से भी सभी ब्रिक्स देशों के हमारे मंत्री और सभी जो डेलीगेट्स थे।
And now for some international news. Iran's late supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was laid to rest at the shrine of Imam Reza in Mashhad after a week of nationwide funeral processions and mourning ceremonies. Thousands of mourners gathered to pay their final respects as authorities projected national unity following his death in US-Israeli strikes earlier this year. The burial comes amid continuing regional tensions and marks a significant chapter in Iran's political transition under his successor, Mojtaba Khamenei. And now for some action from sports. France stormed into the FIFA World Cup 2026 semi-finals with a convincing 2-0 victory over Morocco. Captain Kylian Mbappe recovered from an early penalty miss to score a stunning goal before Ousmane Dembele added the second to seal the win. Mbappe, who was named Superior Player of the Match, is now joint top scorer of the tournament with 8 goals, level with Lionel Messi. Now let's have a look at the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report in Tura. Minimum temperature 24 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 27 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 90% and rainfall 0.8 millimeters. Moving on to Shillong, minimum temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 24 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 93% and rainfall at 2.6 millimeters. Meanwhile, in Jowai, minimum temperature 21 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 22 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 93% and rainfall at 15 millimeters. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jowai says heavy rainfall with thunderstorm likely at many places. We have now come to the end of the news. Before we wind up, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Tura to get Doppler weather radar under Mission Mosam to strengthen weather forecasting. India and Australia strengthen strategic ties with landmark defence and maritime security agreements. India emerging as the preferred global hub for capability centres, say Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Iran's late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei laid to rest after week-long national mourning. And France storm into FIFA World Cup semi-finals with dominant 2-0 win over Morocco. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching the Breakfast News. Stay tuned as we bring to you the Khasi News Bulletin up next. You can also follow us on our social media platforms for latest news updates. Do tune in again tomorrow for more fresh updates. Until then, have a wonderful day ahead. Goodbye.